Wow, it's a very beautiful Tuesday morning and it's a blessed day. This is the day that the Lord has made, that you and I need to rejoice and be glad in this day. You are blessed just as you are alive today. It's a big blessing. Karibu sana to this live broadcast. My name is Faith Mwema, right here on MBC ITV, on Uchumi Talk, right here on Relationship Talk Show. We just had a very beautiful, and amazing discussion on managing stress. And I hope that you've learned 1, 2, 3 things, that is going to help you, because every time we learn things, we always say it's good to implement them. So karibu sana, my name is Faith Mwema. We are shifting gears, from now looking and discussing about matters managing stress with Sylvia Wanja and Dr. Mushai. Now we are delving into matters money, matters filing your returns. Tunasema tunalipa ushuru tunajitegemea. So we'll be having this talk right here so that you can be informed anytime, any day. Someone will be coming up to ask you something, at least you'll have an answer. And also, apart from just having answers, you yourself, you'll be able to file your returns. And remember, you can send in your questions, you can send in your feedback at 23814 short code messages, and also on MBC ITV Facebook page, and also on YouTube, as you will be getting to having this discussion. Karibu sana, I'm not doing this alone. I'm having KRA officials right here on studio, and they'll be helping us delve into this topic. I know every time we hear about KRA, people really are afraid. You're like, way returns, way money, way, but don't worry. Today, we are getting ourselves informed so that, hatutakuwa on the bad books, KRA. So karibu sana, I'm joined by one, Mr. Dennis Kuria from KRA. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful morning. And thank you for being here together with us. And also one, Miss Regina Mbirua. Karibu sana. Good morning.
Good morning too.
Mambo ya ushuru? Tujitegemee. Karibu sana. Every time people hear about KRA, they are really afraid. And actually, some people see KRA officials and then wanafunga maduka and then they run away. But today, we are not here to do that. We are here to inform ourselves that anytime we see you in the streets, we are welcoming you in our shops. So, KRA, nini ni kina nani? Tell us more about KRA.
Okay. KRA. Okay. Kenya Revenue Authority is a government institution. Iko mandated kusaidia serikali kutapata pesa. The government needs to do some things. You need services, I need services, she needs services, MBCI needs services. For example, unatumia stima. Ulitoa wapi stima? Ilitoka somewhere before you figure this side. So there are so many amenities or things that the government needs to do for its citizens, for the citizen to be happy. And unfortunately, government hainanga biashara. Hata hiyo duka imefunguliwa. Government of Kenya supermarket. Akuna. And the government needs money. So where do we get the money? It's now where the government now gets the money ni ile wewe kidogo unapata tunakawa na kidogo. KRA inasaidia nao inakuwa ni kama broker. Ile pesa kidogo wewe kama mtu wa kutumia vitu within the country ile unapata unatugawia kidogo na unabaki na the remaining amount. Then we are good to proceed to make our country kujitegemea. So the more the amount that you pay, the little amount you pay, ina contribute to a bigger basket. Unatoa shilingi moja, wewe mwingine anatoa shilingi 2, shilingi 3, au moja, finally it comes to a good amount, enough kutusaidia kufanya something big. So Kenya Revenue Authority is not the intention of Kenya Revenue Authority is not to threaten people. It's not to kill business. It's to support you in facilitating the country kujitegemea. So and that's why tuko na the slogan tulipe ushuru tujitegemee. And vile umesema we are okay. Kitambo people, let me go back a bit to I know the national police are not here, but let's talk about them. When we were young, we used to see them and tunapotea.
True.
Because you feared maybe neza shikwa, maybe especially wakikuja na Land Cruiser.
Yes.
People used to run away. True. Completely. But nowadays, Let me not go dively into that. We saw Gen Zs last year wakitembea na polisi.
Yeah.
You're okay walking with that person on the road. What changed? Okay, generally kuna perception change. People came to know their rights.
Yeah.
Askari astahili kugonga hata kama kona rungu. Rungu ni ya kupiga mtu. Lakini astahili kukuuza kama hauna makosa. Astahili kukushika kama hauna makosa and all that. Once you got empowered on that one, we no longer fear the police.
True.
We work with them. We do things together with them. They are welcomed into our society. Similar thing. KRA. The reason why people run away, the reason why people fear KRA, it's because they don't know the KRA mandate and their rights. And that's why we are here to tell you. KRA is not here to kill you.
Sure.
It's here to
kill
serve
businesses.
No, don't fear. Just do the right thing. For example, if wewe ni mwizi, na uone kuna askari wanakuja, definitely you have 100%, is it 100 or 200? 200% reasons to run away. What if you are a law-abiding citizen? You don't have a reason to run away.
True.
Similarly, if you are doing the right thing on taxes, there is no reason to run away.
Okay.
Just do the right thing and you are free even to interact. Hata watu wa KRA wakikuja kwa your business, wakikuja kutembea in town, naambia hata nyinyi wa customers, kujeni.
Buy tea for them.
Yes.
Thank you so much for clarifying on that, Mr. Dennis. You know, just the other day, budget and everything, and someone would ask, why do we really pay taxes? Can't the government find ways of getting, income apart from, Yes.
Okay, as Dennis has clarified, taxes are the way that the government funds the activities and the needs for its citizens. So, yes, maybe the government can find other ways, but the number one way is through taxation.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's why now KRA is mandated now to collect the taxes on behalf of the government. And number two, taxation should be fair. That's why we don't tax, similarly across all sources of income.
Yeah.
There's, it has differences, and the rates are different for every class of income, including companies. Yes, so there's an aspect of fairness. We don't want to be seen like sisi ndio tunafinyilia, but it's just a portion of your tax, not 100%, but a portion at the prescribed rates. Yeah,
a portion of our taxes. Thank you.
Yes.
Now, how are we paying these taxes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Kuna two ways that people pay taxes. And the first one is the one that is paid by everybody. We call it indirectly. Indirectly, unalipa bila kujua that unless you are very keen, you won't notice.
Sure.
For example, I know you consume products from the shops. Like jana ulinunua from Faith Enterprise. Money Faith Supermarket. At Faith Supermarket, you buy products. Na hii item umenunua, whether ni sukari, ni majani, ni mkate, any item you are buying, iko na tax aspect ndani yake. We call it VAT. And the VAT ni wewe unalipa, then the supermarket collects on behalf of KRA, then at the end of the month, the supermarket brings it to KRA. So the person who did the actual payment ni wewe. Lakini unless you are keen, hauta notice.
True.
You won't notice. Then that is the indirect taxes. Now that one is paid by every person. As far as you are a consumer, young, old, middle-aged, kila mtu. Working, not working, students, every person pays the indirect taxes. We call it VAT.
Yeah.
And then now from there, we get out from the consumer, we go to now for the people who are earning. And there are two ways you can earn. You can either earn through a salary or a business. Business is a big word. There are various types of business.
Sure.
Kuna rental houses. Rental house is a business. Kuna rental houses. Kuna a shop. Shop can sell anything. You can have online business. You can have farming. All those are classified as businesses. Then now there is salary. Salary is deducted by employer at a certain prescribed rates. Na kuna, we call it graduated scale. that runs from 0% to 35%. And it's pay as you earn. As you earn less, you pay less, approaching 0%. For example, someone earning below 24,000 per month, tax yake ni zero salary. Now, earning from 24,001 shilling, you pay at a certain prescribed rate. Kuna someone who at some point nilisikia akisema it's better nilipwe 23,000 than kulipwa 25,000 because nilipwa 25,000 nitalipa taxes.
Sure.
Okay, the thought in that person yet, ukilipwa 25,000 maybe utaitishwa 50%. 50% ya 25, that is
around 12,000.
So you take home equal 12,000. So anaona afadhali nichukue 23,000 take home than 12,000. That's not true. The rates are fair because now, for example, we are 25, utapata tax yake ni roughly maybe 200 shillings.
Wow. Only?
Yeah.
Per month?
That's roughly 200 shillings per month. So your take home, instead of taking 23, comparing your 25, I'm at over 200, so anachukua 24,800. You don't get better. So taxes is not punitive. The taxes are a bit fair in that it's pay as you earn. As you earn less, you pay less. As you earn more, you pay more. That's for salary. And the person who ana deduct na analipa ni your employer. At the end of the year, unakuja una file return.
Yeah.
Ku counter check ama confirm whatever the employer was submitting.
All right.
Then businesses, there are various. Kama nimeweza kusema, kuna rental. If you are a landlord earning per month to capacity, kama nyumba zako zinapata between 24,000 and 15 million. 24,000 per month, that is 28,000 per year to 15 million per year. Ukiwa katikati, ulikuwa unalipa kitu tunaita monthly rental income. And monthly rental income is only 7.5% of the collection. Unalipa per month.
Okay.
Ukichelewa kulipa, kuna penalty. Yeah, 2,000 shillings. That's the rental. Kuna mtu akona business, a small business. With SMEs, the small ones. The small ones, someone who is selling between 500,000 to 25 million per year. And 500,000, it's not such a big figure.
It's true.
If you divide it into 12 and divide by 30 days, it's about small figure. So if you're in that range, you're supposed to pay 1.5% of the sales.
Of the sales?
Of the gross sales.
Okay.
And taking a good example, tuchukue a small business. Tupatie roughly, anaweza kuwa kiuza how much per day?
Let's say 10,000. So let's say 5,000.
5,000.
Yeah.
Times that, is it? Atafanya kazi Monday to Monday ama Monday to Friday?
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
Sunday in the church, Saturday akae na watoto.
So how much is that?
So it's 5 days.
5
so
days
it's 25 times 5.
Times 5. That's how much gross? Tufanye hesabu.
So in a week it's 25.
25.
By 4 it's also 100.
100,000.
Yeah.
100,000. This person anaitishwa a tax of 1.5%, which is 1,500.
Only.
Only.
Okay.
And it's enough. It's illegal. You're 100% compliant.
Yeah.
And ukisikia KRA wanakuja kwenu, you can tell them to come and buy. That will be consumers. That's a small person. So comparing someone who is selling 100,000
Yeah.
versus 1,500, does it qualify? Is it worth you closing your shop?
Not really.
It's
Not really.
just a small portion of it. That's for someone who has a small business. Now for someone who has a bit bigger business, someone selling 5 million and above per year, they are supposed now to register for what we call VAT. VAT, it has its own, we call it inputs and outputs, which is now cumulatively 16%. Then VAT, the person, vile nilianza na kusema kwa indirect, the person who pays VAT is the consumer.
Okay.
Then the supermarket or the seller ana collect on behalf of KRA. End month analetea KRA
Income
finally.
tax. Yeah.
So by paying VAT, the business is only paying what it collected from the clients. It's not paying its own money. It's what it collected from the
So now the
client.
profits.
Now the profit inakuja kuwa charged at the end of the year under
Okay.
income tax, which is 30% of the profit. Profit tunatoa all the expenses, salary, rent, KPLC, NAWASCO,
All those expenditures.
all those expenditures.
Yeah.
Then you get the profit. Profit charged at, if it's a company, it's charged at 30%. If it's an individual, it's graduated
All right.
using the same scale, yeah, mtu binafsi.
Okay.
And those are some of the common taxes that people pay. Kuna zingine that they have a short list, like in excise. Excise ni payable by the people who are selling or manufacturing excisable goods. Like now the soft drinks, kuna soft and hard drinks, watu wanalipa excise duty. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for clarifying on that, especially for people who are watching and you're doing your business. Kumbe all along is just some small money. People lied to us that it's a lot of money, so that's the reason why people close down their businesses. But thank you so much for clarifying on that. So lipa ushuru ya hiyo biashara yako. You don't need to close because of 500 shillings, because of 1500 shillings.
And you're selling 100,000.
Yes, so customer wote wa hiyo wiki wamepotea because of something small. Now let's go back to individuals now. Everybody used to file nil returns. Tell us about filing returns, individual returns.
Okay.
Yes.
There's that class of a nil return. It's a valid return, but is it a true return?
That's the question. That's the question.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Because a nil return essentially means you had no income.
Okay.
Either from a business, from an employment, from a digital source, because right now there are digital incomes. People are opening the virtual way of selling and merchandising. So a nil return basically means you have no income. So
Zero bob.
Zero bob. Yes. When to January to December, you earned nothing. You've been, all through, una get support from other people to survive. That's a nil return. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's valid, but is it true? So that's one thing someone needs to evaluate. If it is not true, we get to the other category of income where now Dennis has clarified whether it's where you're employed, you file a return showing that I was employed by XYZ. This was my annual income. This is the pay that was remitted. And that's the end of the story. There's nothing more you'll be charged. Yeah. Okay. Not 1 shilling more, not 1 shilling less. It was remitted, and that's what you've declared. If you're in business, the same thing. You evaluate your business income and file the return. Yes. Okay.
Now, what are the consequences of filing nil returns and I am earning? And also, what are the consequences of filing late returns, doing it late, and even not complying?
Okay, the consequence number one of filing a nil return and you are earning, if we get the information, which eventually we get.
How do you get it?
We do. If you're trading on Jumia, you're supplying some goods, but through the Jumia platform, for example, I know there are many of these online selling platforms. We get this data because Jumia will share the data with us. Or these online platforms, there are many. They will share the data with us and tell us person X was on our platform, person Y, person A. And then we'll come back to you and ask you, Faith, kwa nini hapa ulidanganya? You see,
and data does not lie.
Data does not lie.
True.
Yeah, you wouldn't have onboarded on those platforms to sell hot air.
Sure.
Yeah. So the consequences for that is, number one, we will have to do a compliance review on you. We will ask you for all your records. Give us your records. Give us your, let us evaluate what have you been doing on those platforms.
Yeah.
If you get your earning, we will raise
penalties,
an assessment to charge you on that tax you didn't declare. And it's an offense to under-declare your tax. That's offense number one. So on top of paying what was rightfully to be paid, you will be charged a penalty. And some interest will be loaded on you.
My.
So it's good to just do the right thing from the onset. The other thing, if you don't declare now your returns, like right now we're in the filing season, if you are late, you will also be charged a penalty for not being in compliance with the tax laws. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And now let's go back to now for people who are in business, as you also will be looking at individuals. Let's say I've been doing business, I've never opened any, I don't have a KRA. Where can I start? Right now people are filing returns. Will I also file? Am I also subjected to penalties? Because all along 5 years, I haven't done anything, for instance.
Okay. Any person conducting a business, you need to, any person in an income generating activity needs to pay some taxes at a certain rate. Now, if someone has been trading without registering or it's highly advisable. Okay, there's this statement I usually say, being compliant is cheaper than being non-compliant. Because at some point, and how my colleague Amesema, at some point you interact with people. And these people, they have data, and the data is not shared from a point of negative. Okay, a good example. You are trading with, let's use MBCI. MBCI will declare that, yes, we sold this and we had an expense we bought from Faith. So a sale to MBCI is an income to Faith. So income to Faith. Faith is bought, you sold to MBCI X shillings. Did you declare? That's a question. And it has its own penalties and repercussion. So it's high time. If you have a business and you have not registered, it's high time. Kindly register, because if at some point we get to you, the penalties are a bit higher. And being compliant, like the way I've said, a small business. And someone selling 100,000, see business in the world.
It's true.
It's not someone, but someone small. You can find someone selling 30,000 shillings per day. The tax there is around 150 shillings. And it's very compliant. So it's high time. Try your best to be compliant, because being non-compliant is expensive. And it's a bit punitive because, okay, sorry for using this example. If in our society, ukipatana na mwizi, wanafanywa nini?
The first thing ni kuita polisi, yashikwe.
Tufanye society. Let's talk about
a society.
Tunamshughulikia kidogo as a society. I'm not encouraging it.
It's true.
That's how we do.
We are not.
We are not encouraging it. Similarly, when you go away with the taxes, you are stealing from the government. So you are a thief of the government. So when the government gets you, what do you expect it to do? Sinafanya mob justice kidogo. And so inakwambia lipa. Now that's where the penalties. Okay, I'm just using that as an analogy. I'm not saying that's what we do exactly. So be compliant and avoid the penalties and interests. Even though this year, let me call it financial year. For lack of a better word, there is something good that has been going through.
You'll be telling us about it.
Strongly about it.
You'll be telling us about it. About the process of now filing the returns, we are actually in that period. Please tell us more about it.
The process has been simplified. Since 2015, we are doing the online returns. So people are encouraged to log into itax at kra.go.ke, input your PIN or your ID. You will have a password. The password is automatically sent to your email, registered email, and use that password to get to your itax profile and file your return. For a new return, it's just return, file nil, submit, less than a minute work. For an employment return, it's also simplified, because now we are having a simplified form in that itax profile where all your details are loaded there. The people you've worked for, they are loaded there automatically. So yours is just to confirm XYZ have declared that they paid me, say, 1 million shillings for the year. Is that true? As per my records, if it is true, you click next. For next, you confirm. Has the pay as you want be paid? Yes. Have the necessary deductions been made? Because there are several deductions that are in a return. Say NSSF, your pension, you know, all those deductions. Have they been made accordingly? If you confirm all the details are correct, we are asking for no paper, no nothing, click submit.
Wow.
Less than 5 minutes. That is the annual return. Similarly for VAT, it's now simplified. With the auto-populated returns, you just confirm, are my sales in order? Yes, next. Are my purchases in order? Yes, next, submit. And you're done.
As simple as that.
Simple as that.
And we become compliant.
Yes.
About the certificate,
Yeah.
is it really a must for myself to have it or for my business to have it?
A tax compliance?
Yes.
Yes, actually, it's highly advisable trade with people with a valid tax compliance certificate because it means they are not in conflict with KRA. They are compliant with all the tax laws, filing, payment of taxes. They've remitted all that is due to them, to the KRA. Yes, so it's highly encouraged that every one of us gets a tax compliance certificate. It's the only measure you can say, Mimini, I'm a taxpayer. I'm a compliant taxpayer.
Yeah.
So nobody should be afraid trading with me or working or calling me for employment because I'm compliant. Yeah.
And you know, Kenyans are Kenyans. 30th of June.
Yes.
Many people will be rushing to cybers, to their phones.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's some system downtimes. You want to log in, it's buffering, it's buffering.
Yep.
What have you done at the moment to ensure that even if I want to file my return on that very day, I'm not saying that we file on 30th, please. But for someone who'll be very busy, let's say, and now the only time they'll get is 29th or 30th, have you sorted that out?
Number one, the system is available 24 hours a day. You can file your returns at 10 p.m. You can file your returns at 11:30 p.m. So, as much as, of course, we have a limited number of time where we open our offices, say from 7 a.m. to, currently it's running up to?
Correct. Okay.
The iTax centers.
From 20th, this Friday.
Okay.
To accommodate those people who are working. We have Faith here who comes to MBCI from 8 to 5.
Yeah.
No time. Okay, I'm assuming your boss akupati time ya kwenda nje. So you don't have time to file. So to accommodate you, we'll be opening from 7 a.m. up to 7 p.m.
Oh, wow.
And also Saturday will be there.
Wow.
And also the last Sunday. Sunday will be on 29. We'll be still working
Wow.
to accommodate those people who don't have time. Okay, let me say we don't have time in quotes because we had the system will open from January up to June. Up to June. So we are trying our best to accommodate everyone who needs our support. Like our offices is true, it's opening 7 to 7 from Friday, and Saturday will be there, and the last Sunday will be there, but the system is open 24/7.
Beautiful. And actually, as she has said, it's just 5 minutes.
Yes.
5 minutes maximum. How much time do I spend on my socials?
Exactly.
Probably uploading, even more than that. So 5 minutes you can spare it, file your returns, and you're good to go. Let's be compliant citizens and help the nation, you know, in accomplishing its mandate. Again, there are people about they want to say, I don't want to file my returns because I'm not very sure if my data is protected. Are our data safe with you as we file the return?
100%.
Yeah.
Actually, all our staff, they have a confidentiality agreement. I cannot disclose information about Faith without Faith authorization.
Okay.
For me to give you information to Regina or to your colleague, you must have given the authorization to give that information. Otherwise, if anything, any leakages happens from me as Dennis, I've committed an offense, and leave alone being charged by the external policies, internal policy can charge me. And some people have charged using the internal policy on data protection. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
It's 100% protected.
Protected. Asante, thank you for that assurance. Mtazamaji, keep on asking your questions, 23814, our short code, and also on MBCI TV Facebook page, and also on MBCI TV YouTube. You've told us about now something good. Something good. I know this excites a lot of Kenyans.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it. This is the amnesty.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have an amnesty. Okay, before we talk about amnesty, let's go a bit. Why amnesty?
Exactly.
Okay. The amnesty is here to clear outstanding liabilities, outstanding penalties. Okay, if you remember very well, there was a time kulikuwa na penalty at 20,000 for individuals. In 2017 all the way to end of 2018, any person alikuwa na file return late individual, the penalty was 20,000. People cried out, and their cry was listened. The penalty was reduced from 20,000 to 2,000, but there are those already walikuwa na the 20,000 penalties already shaingia ndani. Then there are people who, like myself, I was a victim. I registered my PIN when I was going for help back in
As a student.
that year.
Yes.
Then nobody told me there is something to do with filing returns. I came to know later. Actually, I came to know what the 20,000 was getting in. So I got penalties due to lack of information. The penalties are there. There is another class of people of our, should I call them our parents?
Yes.
Who registered their PINs long time ago.
And even for
when they were taking for KPLC or water companies and such.
Or selling land.
Or selling land, buying land, when opening bank accounts.
Yeah.
And the information was not well reached to the public. And later on, all these people found themselves in penalties. Yeah. Another class of people is due to financial issues. Someone has filed a return. They were not able to pay their debts in time. This debt ikakuwa na interest. Someone else committed what we were talking about. You have been having a business. You didn't know about filing taxes. You were ukafanywa assessment. Na the assessment tulisema inakuja na penalty and interest. And you are there, the penalties are there. So KRA came up with a way to clear all these ledgers. Can we start afresh? So that's the origin of the amnesty. And this is the second season of the amnesty, and probably the last one.
Wow.
The first season of the amnesty was last year. It ran from 2023 September all the way to 2024 June. And it was clearing penalties and interest up to 2022 December.
Okay.
Then this year we have the second season, and probably the last one. Let me insist on that one. And it started December 2024, and ran up to June 2025, date 30. So 1st of July, if you have a penalty, it will be payable.
Wow.
And the amnesty came to delete the aspect of waivers. Sometimes back there were waivers. Unajipata wewe ni student, ulipigwa penalty, maybe ya 20,000, the 20,000. You come and say, I was a student, I did not have information. But the waiver, to qualify for the waiver, it was too hectic. You had to prove a lot. If you are a student, you had to bring enough documents to show that it's true you are a student. Again, the waiver, you could not request for a waiver on grounds that I did not know. Remember, ignorance is not defense.
Exactly.
You could not qualify. So the amnesty came to reduce the requirements.
Yeah.
The amnesty has only two conditions. You need to have filed the returns and cleared the principal taxes. So if you are a nil filer, the principal tax is already zero. Principal tax is basically the tax you are supposed to pay before you got penalized.
Okay.
And principal tax is a percentage of the income. So if your income is zero, that means the principal is also zero. If you have a business, either you are assessed, what we are talking about, or you had pending liabilities, you have a chance to come to clear that one and you get 100% waiver of penalties up to December 2023.
Okay.
So any person getting a penalty of January 2024 coming this way, there are no waivers again, and there is no amnesty. It's only payable.
Wow. The 2,000.
2,000 for individual. For companies, it's 20,000. For self-help groups, it's again 20,000. VAT registered people is 10,000. Pay registered is 10,000 per month. The rental of the landlords is 2,000 per month. All that, we are waivering it off without any question. Only file and clear the principal.
So the taxes that are waived are covered in this are?
All obligations.
All obligations.
Yeah.
So we can say, if at all you're a business person, you've not been filing, take advantage of this.
Yes.
So what do I need to do to get myself advantaged by this amnesty?
Okay, number one, file your returns. Yeah. If you don't file, we have nothing to vacate.
Okay.
So number one, make sure you're compliant with filing your returns up to the year ending December 2023. And by extension, we can say, because now it's still the filing season, the income tax return for the year ending December 2024 is already due right now. So number one, ensure that you filed all your returns for all those obligations, both the monthly obligations like VAT, payee, MRI, and the annual obligations, the income tax obligations. So that's number one, file your returns. If there's no principal tax resulting from your filing, the penalties are waived automatically. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to pay anybody. They are vacated automatically. The system senses, vacates them, and issues you with an amnesty certificate showing for each of those periods what amount of penalty has been vacated. So it's automatic. Yes.
Okay.
Secondly, you need to ensure that you've settled your principal taxes up to the year ending December 2023. Because that's the base period. Ensure that you've settled all the principal taxes, including 1 shilling. Yeah. Not 1 shilling more, not 1 shilling less. So settle everything.
Yeah.
If you find that it has this 0.8, you know, those the decimal points, round it off to the nearest 1 shilling, generate that payment receipt, pay it. We have our pay bills, the 222. Pay it. Once you've paid it, the system will sense the payment. You don't need to visit anybody or anywhere. The penalty will be vacated automatically. Yes.
Okay. So how about, what if I miss this deadline?
Oh, that would be so unfortunate. Tutalia. Hatutaki miss.
Yeah.
We don't want you to miss on this opportunity where you're beginning from a clean slate. You know, we've just provided an opportunity to say, no, this is the time to, you know, put everything regarding your taxation matters in order.
Yeah.
Whatever taxes you may be owing KRA, pay them up, file your returns, and enjoy. You know, nile unaambiwa, your sins are forgiven, go and sin no more.
Yes, this is the case now.
This is the case now. We don't want you to miss out on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, if you're having any challenge and you're not able to confirm your compliance status, you can always reach out. We have our media platforms, the KRA Care at Twitter. We have the Facebook platforms. You know, we have iTax centers all over the country. We have Huduma centers. We have desks in Huduma centers. So I think we are covered. Countrywide. You can visit anywhere to confirm. Na uulize, by the way, angalia hii ID yangu. Check this company of mine. Am I compliant?
Okay.
And get that information.
And also now for the amnesty, how can I confirm that I have been given the amnesty?
You've been given, of course, number one, you will get an amnesty certificate. It will be automatically sent to your email. Once it is vacated, the next thing you get it in your email. Secondly, you can check your iTax ledger. Utaona tu kama ilikuwa na penalties imejipanga hapo 100,000, there will be nothing. It will be 00. Yes, meaning it has been vacated.
Okay.
The third metric you can check, you can try generating your tax compliance. If you have no penalty, the tax compliance will be generated automatically. Yes.
All right. And also, what if the tax debt is under dispute?
Okay, if it's under dispute, it's possible. Okay, the assessments. Sometimes, okay, it doesn't happen more often, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes we assess you using, we over-assess. Sometimes we can, not we do, it's a possibility.
It's a might, it's a me.
Because remember, it's someone who tried to run away, we got him, then you understand by running away.
It was a thief that was trying to run away.
Someone tried to evade some taxes, we got to him or her. So we assess based on the data that we have. Sometimes the data we have is a bit unfair to you. So you have a chance to go through objection. And if someone is going through objection process, which is right, the right to do that, we encourage them to look for what we call an out-of-court agreement, or to follow up with the resolution of the dispute as soon as possible, because the deadline is set. If you have pending principles as of date 1 July, then any penalty and interest that are attached to that principle, they'll be fully payable. Fully payable.
100%.
100%.
Okay.
So we're encouraging people, look for a way to fast track the case. If you opt, you can also opt for out of court settlement. Then once it's settled, you pay what it will be agreed upon. Then you get 100% amnesty of the penalties and interest. Fully.
Okay.
Vacated.
Thank you. Someone is asking, how can I register my business to pay taxes?
It's simple. If it's an individual, what you need is just only your ID and contact details, and you get a PIN. Then from there, you can have either the county government permits or business registration certificate. That's what you use now to register for the various or the appropriate obligation. Then you follow the law.
Okay. So I won't need to file anything else. It's just I'm registering now. That's it.
Register, then file the appropriate category. If you qualify for VAT, then register for VAT. If you qualify for tax or turnover tax, that is TOT, come register for TOT and start filing. It's highly advisable you start by your own, because if we get you, then we'll use the data that we have. But if you register by yourself, at least there you will assess yourself, and the penalty will be less punitive. The way what nasema, if back in our days, ukijipeleka kwa your mom or your parent, mwambie, by the way, I did this mistake, the penalty punishment was less.
True.
Compared to akikupata. Atakupigia makosa yako, akupigia kwa sababu ya kukosa kumwambia, hapo kuchapa kwa sababu ya kulia. That's on a later note.
True.
Generally, just come forth, register, start being compliant, and avoid issues.
Okay. Someone is asking, take me through again how I can file for amnesty.
Okay. First of all, you have your ID. You are able now to log into iTax with your ID number. So log into iTax at kra.go.ke, input your ID number or PIN number, whichever you have. If you've forgotten your password, there's an option down there on your right, down right.
Where we always run.
Where you always run and forget password. A new password will be sent to your email. Use that password to log back to, your iTax profile. Your iTax profile is simply just something you own. Iko na jina yako pale juu. Kama ni Monica Wambui Ndegwa, Monica Wambui Ndegwa. Iko na jina yako hapo juu. From that, there are so many tabs in there. There's something on filing, there's something on debt and enforcement, all that. You're interested with filing, click on that tab written, return filing. Consult your tax returns. If from the time you took your PIN, say maybe you took your PIN on 1st February 2016, check if your returns are filed. If they are not filed, still on that return filing tab, click file return. If it's an A return, input the year, submit, until you see that the 2024 return is filed. After you file is when you will benefit from the tax amnesty, the 100% waiver. of any accrued penalties. With that, you can be able to check your ledger. There's also a provision of a ledger there. You can say view my ledger, and you'll be able to see you had a penalty, say for 2016, it's vacated. There's no 2000, hakuna element ya 2000 in that ledger. That's how you confirm. Secondly, once you file your returns, the tax amnesty certificate, as long as it's for the period within the tax amnesty, period up to December 2023, the tax amnesty certificate is always mailed to your registered email. So you can also check your emails. Yes.
Okay. There are many people who have forgotten their login details now. Of course, you've covered it.
Yes, forget password.
Forget password, another password is sent, and then the entire process again. So matters about paying our taxes is very, very, very important. And thank you for also reminding us that we really need to be compliant, especially for businesses. The amount that is needed is not too much, is very little. Many times we used to think that it's a lot of money, so many people are evading that and that. Please tell us especially about the people who are doing online writing, online, they are working online. Some of them are filing nil returns. What dangers are they about to face?
Okay, we are in a new age. We are no longer in that manual way where utajificha. Everything is being digitalized.
Yeah.
A while back, hakukuwa na hizi digital ways of, earning income and, trading and doing business, including the online writing. It was something a bit foreign.
Yes.
But with the advancement of technology, we are becoming digitalized day by day. And that includes KRA. That includes all these digital platforms. They are also trying to be compliant with the relevant, tax laws that are there, because you're also regulating that digital space, So avoid being in conflict. If you know umefanya kazi, just declare that work. Just be honest. Be honest with yourself and declare that. Because along the way, tunaweza kosa kujua sahi. It's a digital world. The digital footprint won't be erased anytime soon. In fact, now it's becoming more and more advanced.
True.
You're becoming more and more visible. Your visibility is just coming near to KRA. And as I've said, it is a tax offense not to declare your returns correctly. It is a tax offense.
It's a tax offense.
Yeah.
Wow. Future plans that KRA has.
Okay. One of the things that we are trying. Okay, initially you said about KRA being afraid. KRA would like to get to a point where we are members of the society. We'd like to get to a point where people no longer fear KRA because they know what they're supposed to do. And we would like to avoid what we call tax policing. Policing, I mean police. That's Dennis, KRA staff has to be there for faith to pay taxes. No. We would like you to be able to pay your taxes in the absence of KRA.
Yeah, voluntarily.
Voluntarily.
Yeah.
So we are trying to encourage voluntary tax compliance. And that's why we are trying to simplify systems. You can file and pay at your house. Long time ago, you had to come to the KRA office. Literally, you had to visit. So if you are staying, you want to go a far place, Sobukia, Dondori. Yes. You had to travel all the way from Dondori, ukuje mpaka Nakuru or the nearest office, upange laini mpaka ufikiwe for you to pay. And it was someone like me, Dennis, who was there to calculate your taxes. And human beings are human beings. I like Faith, so nita calculate na this percentage. Faith, Regina is not my friend, so nita calculate here. Human beings have that error.
Yeah.
I'm not saying career staff did that, but they're human beings. Now we have a system. System doesn't know anybody. It's fair.
Wow.
It computes automatically, and it's available even at your house, at the comfort of your house. Yeah. Okay. Like a good example, we have Faith here, who is a presenter at MBCI. At some point, we'll have a break. During that break, you can file your return at the comfort of your place. You can file. If you have something to be paid, you pay without KRA intervention. That's why we are digitizing all this and trying to ensure that we are not policing the tax payment processes. People do it by themselves. That's the end game. That's the end goal. And we wish that Kenyans can go there. Yeah.
I'm hoping so. Very soon.
Amen.
Very soon. Because at the end of the day, why are we paying taxes? As you said, it's for us to be able to stand on our own, not rely on debts from other countries and all that. So yeah, thank you. Please, Ms. Regina, remind us again about filing returns. I know Kenyans are waiting for 30th, and some of them are saying, hiyo tu ni kazi watu wenye wamekuwa employed, so mimi hata sina kazi, I don't even need to even file any nil returns. Please remind us again.
Okay, one thing you need to realize, all of us, as long as you have a KRA PIN, you need to file your tax returns. You need to. If you're employed, the only thing that you're required to do is just like a testament of, you know, I was employed by XYZ. That is all. Failure to do that, you know, we assume that, no, you're not compliant, because that is an opportunity. Utuambie. You tell KRA that this was my employer. I had no other sources of income. I had no other sources from which I was taxed. This is my primary source of income. It's important to know that the deadline is in how many days?
13 days.
Yeah, 13 days. Imagine, inclusive of the weekends. Yeah, so it's really, you know, we are in that crunch time. File your returns within the next 13 days, because come 1st July, the system will not forget. Just as your phone does not forget to clock midnight, it's the same thing with the KRA system. If you not forget to clock midnight, you won't be penalized. It is a smart system. It will sense it's already 1st July at 12:01. The penalty will have been. It's waiting for you.
Even an hour later.
Even an hour later. A minute later.
A minute.
Yes. So it's important that you file your tax returns as early as now. Yes.
As early as now.
Yes.
So as we are proceeding, you can continue and file your returns.
Yes.
Is this 5 minutes?
Yes.
10 minutes maximum?
Yeah.
If at all bundles unasumbua hapa na pale, and then you'll be compliant with the tax rules here in Kenya. Remind us again about the amnesty. Especially because I know Kenyans really were waiting for their amnesty. Last year, a lot of people were left out. So this year, I'm hoping. Yeah.
Just to start with Mali Uchumi. Last year, yes, we had the amnesty. It ran from September 23 up to June 2024. And some people cried out. We didn't know, we didn't get a chance to benefit. There was an outcry generally. So finally, KRA listened. And we decided to extend. So it was extended. It was passed in December 24, and it is running up to this month, end of this month. And past this month, past the end of this month, it's no longer coming back. It's the last season. And people need to differentiate between paying taxes and filing taxes.
Yes.
Actually, unasikianga watu kwa village wakiuliza umelipa KRA?
It's true.
Kumbe what anamaanisha ni kufile. There is a difference between filing and paying.
Yeah.
Filing basically declaring what you did. Generally, KRA is here asking you, Faith, tell us what you did. In the last 1 year, what was your income? Then based on what you say, we do our computation. We tell you, you earned this, you need to pay this.
Yeah.
Then like Regina was saying, then you proceed with the statement. But my employer deducted this. Are they equal? Yes. So we are at a nil position. If you're a business person, we're asking you to declare what you did. I did a business, I earned this amount, then KRA comes and computes how much taxes. Business is not like employment. You want to jilipia.
Really.
So we compute, we tell you you need to pay this, so you go ahead and pay. And it's closed. So there is a difference between payment and filing. Filing is for every person who has a PIN, who is registered for a PIN. Any person, student, non-student, every person who has a PIN needs to file. Payment now is for those people who have something to be paid. That's the second step after filing, the next step after filing. But you can be someone who was not supposed to pay, but you find yourself in a position to pay when you file late.
Yeah.
When you file late, you don't take advantage of the amnesty. Initially, you are not supposed to pay, but due to you filing late, you end up paying the 2,000. Your company ends up paying the 20,000. You find a self-help group, youth wamekuja pamoja wakatengeneza a youth group, wamama wamekuja wakatengeneza women group, kuna men group, men self-help group.
I believe so. Eco, especially for the border guys they have, right?
Kuna boda self-help groups.
Yeah.
All those groups, if you are late per year, it's 20,000. And ukiuliza a group of youth wamezoea kutoanga every week wanatoa so moja.
Yeah.
Then you are telling them to contribute towards a 20,000. And the 20,000 is not that they are buying something. Si boda wananunua. If ni boda wananunua, it's a different thing.
Sure.
But they are paying a penalty that could have been avoided. So it's high time. Come up, file your returns, follow up with the amnesty. If you have a group that was registered sometimes back and you have never filed, just come out, file your returns. And the 20,000 will be there, but they'll be given a full 100% amnesty with 0 questions. And you're free to go at no cost.
At 0 cost.
At 0 cost.
At the comfort of your home.
At the comfort of your home.
Thank you. I know there are people who really want to talk to you. Some are watching us from different parts of the country and they would really want to, have contacts from you so that they can call or text, especially about the amnesty. Yeah.
Okay, let me start by saying if someone, you might have someone there, a group, who wamejua about KRA and filing leo. And they wish that, as we are talking here, we have Faith who is asking the questions. And I'm somehow sure you are saying based on your experience. And your experience versus the experience of that person, that group which is out there, is not exactly the same. And there are questions that I'm very sure in the platform you have more than 1,000 questions. We might not be able to answer them here.
True.
Na kuna mtu alikuwa na a burning question, alikuwa anasema usome yangu tu. Lakini haukusoma for some reasons.
Because of time.
Because of time.
Yeah.
So that person or such a group, if they are out there and they would like a tax education from us, we don't charge. They can only write a letter, say that we are XYZ group located at a certain place, and we wish to be educated on taxes. Kindly facilitate it. Then drop the letter at our office, nearest office, then the office will facilitate the tax education for free.
For free. So schools, people who are employers, they can take advantage of that. They
can take advantage of that one to be educated on tax matters. And when we come to educate. We don't come for enforcement. Mtu enforcement atakutafuta na njia zake.
Yes, nyinyi mnakuja tu kupatiana elimu.
Umetuita tukuje tupatie elimu, hiyo ndio tutakupatia.
Okay.
You and the people around you at no cost.
Okay.
But generally, remember, the amnesty is here and it's the last season. And it's ending in the next 10 days. Tuseme this month's 10. This month inakaa ni kama
ndefu kweli.
It's 10 days time.
Yeah.
And after these 10 days, if you have any penalty pending, it's 100% payable. Because the amnesty provision, I repeat, ilikuja kutoa the waiver provision. So now the amnesty iko na expiry date. So it expire. Nakumbuka the waiver ilitolewa. Then they will know more. The only way to deal with penalties from July is payment. And KRA can enforce that one.
Okay.
So come out in numbers, file your return, avoid penalties, avoid the 2,000. 2,000 is a good amount in this economy. If it's a group, 20,000 is a good amount. Ni deposit ya kulipa boda.
It's true.
As a boda group, you can pay that 20,000 as a deposit. Upatie mtu boda.
Kweli.
Jilipia.
Ni kweli.
So avoid the penalties, do the right thing, avoid also assessments, and tulipe ushuru. Tujitegemee.
Thank you. Before we finish, Madam Regina, please remind people who always file nil returns. Mtoto akienda tu, si ni ile tu ya kufile nil returns, and they are earning. Please remind them.
Okay. A nil return, as I have explained, it's something recognized by law. But if it is being used to conceal the actual position of an income, it becomes an offense. Yep. And that is something that is enforceable. It's something that we can pursue you, to pay what is rightfully payable to KRA. So remember to declare your correct incomes, your correct returns for the various tax obligations. Because as I've said, we are in an age where we are getting information. The information is at our disposal kidogo.
Yeah.
Yes, we will get the information, maybe not now, but you can imagine me coming to remind you 2 years down the line. I tell you, by the way, 2024, you had this income. Say you traded with company XYZ. They paid you this amount of money, but you didn't declare. We will put it in the system. That is what we call an assessment. We will charge that amount and charge it accordingly. We will impose some penalties because, tax evasion is a serious crime.
Sure.
Yeah, we will impose penalties on that aspect. Ni kama ulikuwa unataka kuevade. Hakuna mtu anaweza taka kitu kama hiyo.
True.
Yeah. And there'll be some interest on top. So if it is 2 years, if the interest is 1%, compute for 2 years. 1% per month, not per year.
So that
per
will be,
month.
Yeah. And that will be 24%.
That is 24%.
Wow.
So it's best we encourage voluntary compliance. Yes.
Thank you so much. That's it for today. Asante sana, Mr. Dennis. Asante sana, Madam Regina. I believe next time KRA officials are visiting your place, after this conversation, you will not be afraid because you have complied with everything that we have talked about today, and there will be no worries anyway. If at all I've complied, why wouldn't I open my doors to receive them? You see? So, but it starts with compliance. And right now, kuna ile amnesty, please take advantage of that, mtazamaji, especially you that you're in business and probably last year you are left behind, and people who last year you were also penalized, probably you forgot, probably the deadline, it beat you. So please take advantage of this and file your returns and take advantage of the amnesty. Thank you so much. That's it for today. It has been Uchumi Talks right here on NBC ITV. My name is Faith Mwewa. See you on radio. Actually, hear me on radio this evening from 3 to 7 p.m. Thank you and have a blessed time and have a very good day. This is a blessed day. Don't forget and keep declaring blessings on this day because it is a blessed day. Shalom. Until next time. Bye-bye.